Voguer Donnell Ingram's former best friend offered to watch some of his costumes and sound equipment. When the plaintiff went to retrieve them, he discovered his irreplaceable outfits and custom wigs were ruined. Defendant Jarek Jennings claims Donnell dumped a dirty pile of cheap clothes and a battered old radio in his apartment, then split town for months without checking in. He claims the plaintiff is the one who left his stuff laying around like a pile of trash, so he's not the one who should be taken to the curb.
Donnell, you are suing your friend Jarek for damages to...
Damages to my costumes that I needed for performances that I have. A couple of wigs that I had that was done. I'm a dancer. I'm a part of the ballroom scene.
Yes.
However, I just came back from doing a performance with the show Legendary, HBO Max.
Yes.
I'm one of the contestants up there.
Oh, wow.
So I pretty much like Vogue, like I travel like to different cities. I do classes, like dance classes, Vogue performances all over.
What is house and ballroom?
Ballroom is like, I don't know if have you ever seen the movie Paris is Burning, or have you ever seen the TV show Pose?
Yes.
And stuff. So it's basically a bunch of, it started off like a bunch of kids and stuff like that in the LGBT community who like been kicked out of their parents' house because of their sexuality and stuff, and the only thing they go to is like houses, you know. So say if I'm a leader, and this is someone who has nowhere to go, I would take him in as my child, and we would go and do competitions, win money, get trophies. I would nurture them, or likewise, I would get nurtured because I have a house parent, you know, make sure I'm on my foot, like, you know, I'm doing what I gotta do to be on a good foot, you know, winning balls and stuff like that. So you got dancing, which is like Vogue and the 5 elements. You got runway, you got face, which you don't have. You don't have. You got face. You have face, that's the category. You got realness, you're not real. Ballroom is just a competition of different houses competing against each other. Well, I can just show you the 5 elements if you want to see it.
You're listening to DJ Spider.
Jerry, honestly, that's one chop.
It can never be a chop. He don't even know what a chop is. You're a chop.
I will say this, we dance just alike.
Oh.
Man, I thought I was looking in the mirror.
I might have to join my house.
Yours probably gonna be 10s though. His was a chop.
Whatever.
Like,
I mean, you should join a house if you know, join my house, not, he's not in the house, join my house.
Yeah, I'm not in the house, sorry.
You know, I'm at that point where I'm not looking for a house, I'm looking for a home. Now, what's the lawsuit about?
So I used to travel back, because I live in Vegas now.
Yes.
I've been in Vegas for almost 4 years.
Yep.
But a lot of my dance members and people that I practice with is in New York.
Yes.
You know, me and JJ, what we call him, been friends for like 15, 16 years now. So every time I go back to New York.
I wouldn't be here now if we were friends.
Anyway, when I go back, but I'm real, that's why. When I go back to New York, you know, I'll link up with him, sometimes crash at his house and stuff. And I had like a big radio, I had my effect bag. That's basically bags like with my costumes.
Trash.
You wanted to wear it, and you couldn't even squeeze into it because I'm smaller than you.
That's
big
why
back.
I couldn't wear it.
Big back.
Trash.
I have this big radio that I left over there. You know, it has like a microphone, it has like the karaoke, you know, different features of it.
I see
It's
that.
really loud, it lights up. I got that maybe like 3 years ago. It was expensive. So what? You were still using it. I left the radio over there.
Did you tell him you were
Garbage.
leaving it there?
Yeah, I told him. He agreed.
And that you would pick it up at a later date?
Yeah, and I would come back and get it when I come back to New York, because I've been going back and forth.
What happened when you came back?
I didn't come back until, because this was right before
COVID.
COVID. So I have asthma. I wasn't traveling to New York. It was a lot of things going on. I lost family members during that time, a lot of different stuff. So it wasn't safe for me to go back to New York, you know?
Right.
I left some of my costumes that was there. Like, I have a king outfit that was made. My friend makes them like from scratch. That's my king
I really
outfit,
don't remember you asking me to watch your belongings, to
which
be
I
honest.
did.
And
Okay.
that,
And you
look
agreed
at
to
that,
it.
y'all.
Look at it.
Oh,
Now-
she laughed.
Now, where's your pictures at?
So you left these outfits.
First of all, I know they was in there playing with it because all my wigs and stuff, it got ruined. My outfits, it got damaged.
So when you could travel again, you went back to his place
Yeah.
to get your stuff.
Yeah, I went back.
And when you got your stuff, what happened?
My outfits was ripped. They were damaged. They wasn't sewn together. These are my little play wigs. My wigs was all cut up and dyed a completely different color. Like, it was stiff.
Child,
I
that
can't-
jacket was just like that. That
Please,
is a
when I
Halloween jacket.
perform and I shake, I like to have my wigs on. Before I went on a Legendary show, I've been calling him like, hey, I need to get this stuff, you know, because I have to come with 3 different looks. I couldn't use these looks because they were damaged. They were ruined.
Who else was wearing these outfits?
As far as wearing them, I
Your
have no clue.
roommate.
I wasn't there.
Your roommate.
Okay.
You had your turn.
Yes.
So, you know, I wasn't there as well. Right before COVID, as he said, you know, I was booked. You know,
You
we
were
were
trying to
out
justify
traveling
the
and
situation.
traveling. And by the time COVID started, I was in New York. I stayed in New York with family. That's where my mom lived. So that's where I ended up staying. I didn't go back to Philly. No time, like in between that whole time, I was not in Philly. Yes, I do have a roommate. But when, you know, things were addressed to me as far as him coming to get it, I asked my roommate. He said he didn't touch anything. So I'm not there, so I damn sure didn't touch it.
You were
But
there.
it was one time, you know,
You
I
were
did
there.
call and
I
the
got a
radio
video
was
with
playing.
you wearing this stuff too.
Yeah.
Please.
And
Go
you know, I did. Okay, I was like, okay, yeah, maybe he did use it, and he's trying. You know, they did break it. You know, they trying to just throw it under the rug, pretty much. But long story short, I wasn't there, so it wasn't me
You were there.
specifically.
Okay, at the day after he left, you left that same day?
No, it was probably like a few days after, but that stuff been in
Okay,
the
so-
corner since he left it there.
You knew it was there.
I mean, I knew it was
you
his,
saw it,
regardless. Yeah.
Okay.
But
So you knew it was.
still wasn't no acknowledgement that he was that I agreed that he was leaving it there.
But
Like,
you did.
Okay, but
there was never no agreement.
But someone apparently.
And it was pretty much kind of in a bag just like that, and it looked like trash
No,
because
it
it was
wasn't.
next
No,
to
it
my
wasn't.
trash.
No, it wasn't. Now you're
The
lying.
radio, I wasn't gonna
You're
throw
lying.
away.
It was
the
in
radio,
a
of course, I
black-
wasn't gonna
it
throw
was in a
away
black
because that's
Nike
what we
bag.
used to practice to. But
It was in a.
the
First of all,
clothes,
I'm not
that was
traveling
trash.
with
Hang
no
on,
plastic
sir.
bag
Let
like
him
this.
speak.
You're
You're
lying.
saying no one wore that. What?
Nobody want to wear that. We used to wear that probably like 3-4 years ago, but nobody's wearing that today, honestly.
but
and
it
it was in the
wasn't-
trash bag
you like
just like
3-4
that,
years ago,
next
it
to my
wasn't made
trash.
3-4 years ago.
When my roommate sent me a picture, that was right next to the trash, and he asked, "Was it trash?"
First of
I
all,
laughed because it is trash, but
It's
I
not
said
trash.
I'm not gonna
Everything
be rude.
I left there was in good tack. Everything was perfect.
You said
Everything
you
was
only needed
fresh.
one thing out
I
that
only
bag,
wore it one
the rest of
time
that,
and it never was
I don't
ruined.
know.
You know that. I paid money for this. At the end of the day, when I left it, that you agreed, you said you will watch it for me. Why would I leave it over there if
How
you
would I
didn't agree
watch
to
it if
watch
I'm
it?
not there?
He said, okay, I will have it sent over to you. Like if I can't send the radio because it's gonna be too much because it's big, I will send you everything else. I'm calling him constantly. You know what I mean? I had to hear from another friend, oh, you ain't gonna get that radio back because it's messed up.
What happened to the radio?
The sound was out, the handle was broken, the microphone, the piece to the
all
microphone, you
kind
can't
of
even stick
problems
it
with that
inside of
radio.
it. You saying it's not your problem at the end of the day. We wouldn't be here because when I told you it was at your house and you knew it.
But I thought
you
we came to an agreement.
You said you agreed. You made it very clear. Okay, I will get you. I will pay you back for all the stuff that was damaged, for everything. Before
Okay.
the Legendary show, I've been calling you nonstop for my stuff, and you be coming up with excuses not to give it to me. You've been dodging me. You was not answering my calls, and then you gonna sit up there and tell my friend, oh well, he harassing me. He'll get it when I get it. I told him he'll get his money when I get it.
He knows
Simple
where
as
I
that.
live.
Did you say in the conversation, I'll pay for,
I did eventually because we done blew up, we done
Yeah.
argue, cursed each other
Yeah.
out, called each other names on Facebook, all of this stuff. And so eventually after that, I just pulled it up because it's like, we're we gonna continue this forever?
These
This
are stuff
and
that-
my roommate, this is not a storage. That's what my roommate told me.
I
He
didn't
said,
leave it with your
this
roommate, I
is not a
left it with
storage.
you.
So
He was staying with you for overnight. He says his friends say, hey, I'm going to leave my stuff here. I'll come and pick it up. And you probably just said, yeah, fine. No,
it was probably a drunk night or something like that.
Ain't no
whatever.
drug night.
What this legally gets to be is what we call a bailment. He is agreeing to hold your stuff, but it is for your benefit, not his. But he does have an obligation not to be negligent with it. Because it was your place, regarding the clothing, if someone else was there and they suddenly used it, I'm not going to put that on you. The radio, though, is a substantive thing that if you're not going to be there, you would say to your roommate who is ever there, hey, keep an eye on this radio. this belongs here to Donnell, just keep your eye on it.
Yeah.
Apparently, that was not the
That
case.
wasn't.
So I'm not going to hold you responsible for the clothing. There is proof that the radio isn't working now, and it was working before. So that does become your responsibility. So therefore, I'm going to find for you the sum of $500 for the radio. Thanks, guys.
My relationship with Donnell, we always back and forth. That's one thing about us. But we are friends, and we may be, you know, we may be good. We should be good. I'll say that.
No, we're not friends.
Hey, YouTube, thanks for watching. For more Judge Jerry, click here. For more Jerry Springer, click here.